Hello there. Welcome back to the Kinship SMP, and we are here right above my witch farm. This was the redstone witch farm that I built in the last episode, and this is designed by Razeworks, and it works absolutely fantastic. I've been AFK up there for approximately an hour, maybe just under, so let's go and have a quick look as to what we got out of it. It is still very loud down here, so apologies for that, but we've got all this redstone. This is absolutely insane. This farm is so much more efficient than I ever thought it was going to be, so yes, thank you very much, Razeworks, for that. So after we've got all that collected up, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, nearly 8 stacks of redstone blocks. This is absolutely insane. I have been running quite low on redstone recently because I've restocked my shop a couple of times with different things, and it just takes up so much redstone resources. It's absolutely insane. So just in case anybody needed a recap on how this witch farm works, essentially these platforms are built on top of a witch's hut, or at least where a witch's hut would have spawned in. You can always view that process in my previous episode. So the witches will be spawning on these platforms, the snow golems then see them and then start throwing snowballs at them, which aggroes the witches on them, and then the witches will pathfind to these trapdoors, they'll fall down into this water stream and then get entity crammed down there. It's a pretty simple concept overall, however with the nature of witches, they can be quite aggressive and have a few problems of their own, so there are bubble streams there to catch the potions that they would throw to try and kill our lovely snow golems. That being said, we have a few things to go and do back at our base, not least of which is what we saw in the time-lapse at the beginning, which was the building and constructing of this, my absolute massive bamboo farm. Now, of course, in the time-lapse, you only really saw me actually building kind of the frame of the whole thing. The redstone stuff I've had to do off camera, mainly because I didn't really know how I was going to do it. I did come up with a couple of ideas in a test world, but nothing was really sticking, nothing was really working for me. And I was coming up with a few problems, so overall it's just been kind of a lot of trial and error, really. So first off, let's just quickly talk about this flying machine. It's, of course, the thing that cuts down all of the bamboo. It just goes backwards and forwards, dead simple. With a mechanism here that will send it backwards and forwards forever if you want to, or you can flick this lever here and it raises this trapdoor like this. It'll stop here, this observer won't see the update, it'll just stay put. It's 20 blocks across overall, but then we've got 9 on each side of these slime blocks, and then obviously to make sure that we don't take half the wall with us, we've also got this glass block on the end here. It's a pretty straightforward and simple design. I think everybody uses this kind of stuff, so I honestly, for the life of me, can't remember which tutorial I saw. I just remember building this last season, so I've kind of done it from memory. Next, we're going to talk about some of this redstone that I've done here. Let's just go into Cheaty Cam so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. First off, we've got these minecarts going backwards and forwards underneath here. Every now and again, one of these things keeps getting stuck, and I don't know why, and it's really kind of annoying me, but I'm sure I'll come up with a solution, or if you guys know of a solution to stop this from happening, please do let me know. But essentially what's happening here is that the flying machine is going across, breaking the bamboo that's fallen to the floor. These hopper minecarts are then picking it up. They've got 4 lengths to go, up and down, to try and catch as much as they can. There's so many drops, so many items get dropped with bamboo. They can't always collect it all in the first try, which is a shame. But as it comes around here, and it gets to this hopper here, if there's any items inside of the minecart itself, this comparator down here will see that there's items being transferred into this hopper, and then through this redstone circuit, it'll depower this powered rail here, which makes the minecart itself stop, and then it'll keep unloading until there's no more items in the minecart. At which point, the comparator will then see that there is no more items inside the hopper, and it'll turn this system back on again. Now, the items are actually flowing down through the hopper into this dropper here, which again, this comparator here is seeing that there are items in there, and then through this comparator circuit here, it's then firing all the items into the water stream, and then down into the storage and auto crafting section. So I've actually got 10 of these going all at once, and when the farm is actually going, these are working overtime. They're working incredibly hard and they do a fantastic job. I will turn the farm on shortly so you guys can see it working. But like I say, all of the items will come along this water stream and then up the bubble column and then into this storage section where I have one stage of autocrafters here and then another stage of autocrafters here, just on this side. I didn't want them on this side. Now, this took a long while for me to come up with something. I know that it's not the most efficient way of doing things. I know it's not going to be the most compact or anything like that. It's not the best solution. However, again, I want to keep trying to push the boundaries of my own redstone knowledge. And what better way to do that than to just keep tinkering with stuff and come up with designs and farms of your own mind. So the first round of these auto crafters are just essentially making bamboo blocks. Nothing too fancy, just very straightforward and basic. Now, obviously, those ones go straight into the next round. So over here, you can kind of see just blocks of bamboo, nothing special. And then the second round turns them into planks. Of course, I've got all of these sections here blocked off so that when the item comes straight into there, the block, it then automatically gets crafted into planks. I was contemplating on putting another round of auto crafters in there to like turn this one into maybe just chests, another one into something else, but to be honest, I really don't think it needs it. I'm quite happy with just having these planks all here, and then when I need something like chests, I can just come along, use this crafter, and it's dead simple and done straight away. As you can see here, I've already made an absolute ton of chests, and it took me seconds. So without further ado, let's turn this farm on, and you can kind of see it in motion. So we'll flick that. We'll go into cheaty cam. How satisfying is this? Now you will notice that there are some of the bamboo that's kind of floating on top, which is really cool because when the flying machine comes back, it will actually knock them off the top so we don't miss any of the drops. Now, yes, they are going to fly into here, and even some of them were flying out here still. There's always going to be a loss in drops at some point in farms like this, but because we're producing so much as it is, it's really negligible. It's really not that big of a deal. Anyway, so as you can see, all the bamboo is being pushed into the water stream, coming up the bubble column. So it's been pushed up against this chest, which then aligns them perfectly to go into these hoppers. And like I say, we can see it in here. These are also crafted into bamboo blocks. And as they go into here, they automatically get filtered into here, which then turns them into planks. I'm very proud of how this farm has turned out. I know that for a lot of people, in fact, there's so many Minecrafters out there who'll be looking at this and kind of going, this is the most simple, basic redstone possible, or it's an absolute mess. You could make this so much more efficient and so much more streamlined. And you're absolutely right. I most definitely probably could have done. But this is where my knowledge is at the moment, and I only intend on growing that knowledge and becoming a better redstoner as time goes on. That being said, for now, this will definitely do the job. Now, the other thing that I wanted to get done in today's episode is an iron farm, and it's something that I've been wanting to do for a little while. I have come up with a design in a test world, and this is going to be a little bit different. I mean, I've seen designs like this before, but I'm doing this ever so slightly different, mainly because it needs to be in keeping with the theme of this green zone. I did mention in a previous episode about what all of these different zones represent, and this one is going to be the kind of fun fair area. I do have a design for the bamboo farm behind me as to how I'm going to kind of go about that. I'm thinking something roller coaster based, but you may have to just bear with me on that one. However, for this iron farm, I'm thinking something that was kind of like something in the UK called the Sizzler. I'll try and throw a reference photo up on screen right now so you can kind of get an idea as to what it's going to look like. But essentially, it had like 4 arms that would pivot on either side. I, unfortunately, get motion sick very, very easily. So it wasn't really a ride that I frequented that much. Weirdly enough, I'm absolutely fine with things like roller coasters, but the teacups, absolutely not. But that's going to be for later on in the episode. For now, I have other business I would like to attend to. Not least of which is that I would like to get some more of these villages in, which means me building a few more stalls. And with the newly built bamboo farm, I've got just the materials that I want to build for this next one. Okay, so I got a little bit carried away, and I've done that one and also done this one. So let's take a look at this one first. This one is Krista's Calzones, and as you can see in the background there, we have the pizza ovens. Dead simple design, really. We have basically just like a regular sort of oven with the fire in the background, and then you could put the pizzas in the front there, and that's what fires them. I was quite lucky, really, because I think that the acacia trapdoors look really, really cool in front of that. They kind of have that grill kind of look, and yeah, I think it looks really, really cool against all the fire and everything like that, and it's kind of industrial looking. So let's put a few little decorations in there. Of course, we've got the invisible item frame mod in here as well that we can do that, but I decided to leave these ones visible, this one over here and that one, because they kind of look like a chopping board. I don't know, maybe that's got something to it. Of course, that is an egg, but it kind of looks like dough. Again, you kind of got to use your imagination just a little bit, but it looks somewhat close to it. Of course, we've got like wheat and bread as well up there, a bit of beef, a bit of marinara sauce on the floor. It kind of looks like blood, but then it's also not. I mean, I have that data pack on from Vanilla Tweaks where it shows you the signal strength. Yes, it ruins the look of it a little bit. Maybe at some point, if I'm doing like a bit of a tour, I'll take something like that off so you guys can see it properly. Now, of course, you can see I've put 2 farmers in here. Again, this is mostly because I'm just going to need lots of golden carrots in the future. So not only have I done them here, I've done them here, and I've also done them in this one. This is the canopy. I thought it was a really cool little play on words there, but I'll let you guys decide whether or not that's clever or not. So like I say, we've got a couple more farmers in here. Again, this is for the golden carrots. However, when I was looking into the look of canopies, they do look rather regal and elegant, something elevated, something that looks like it'd be in a higher class sort of thing. So I decided to go with a much cleaner look. So for the most part, I've gone with birch. Of course, the actual canopy above was done by Jen, and I've left that as is in just regular oak. But overall, I like to keep it nice and clean looking in here, nice bright colours. Of course, along this left-hand side here, we've got this stainless steel countertop, mostly for prepping food, but again, I've got another one on this side as a wood station. And at the back here, we've got a fridge. I try to do a bit of a trick where if you put slabs in an item frame and you turn it, it does go over to one side and it can kind of... Guys, you're in the way, come on. It does look a bit like a handle from this angle, but I'm not too sure. I might try and come up with a better solution than that. There you go, they've moved now. Again, you can sort of see that they're not... Guys, come on. If you move it like that, it looks too much, I guess in the center, it doesn't quite look right. But then if I have them over that side and I come over this side, people are looking at it from this side, it looks a bit more like it's over to the left. So, false perspective, it does look a bit like handles. Guys, really? I'm going to add some more details to this at some point soon. There's a few more things that need to go in here, like armor stands and item frames and a bit more lighting, that kind of stuff, just to make it look a bit prettier. Also, something that I just kind of missed to point out before was the fact that we accept cash, card, gold, diamonds, and Bitcoin. But for now, that's mostly it for this area. I'm really proud of how this one turned out. I thought the pizza ovens were a nice touch. Now, the other thing that I've done that you might notice over here is kind of sculpted out this area here, put a path coming down here, and then because of this cobblestone, this means we're now moving into the main stage area. Now, when it comes to going into some kind of main stage area for any kind of festival, one of the biggest things that you need to go through is security. So with that in mind, behind me, I'm going to have this massive marquee, which is going to be the security area, which is actually going to be my storage system. So if you can imagine, from approximately here, I'm going to have this massive marquee, this rounded top kind of marquee, and this is where everyone's going to be funneled into. So if you want to go to the main stage, you have to go through here. Everything else is going to be completely and utterly fenced off with zero access. So essentially you'd come down here and you'd kind of wait in the queues. There'd be like maybe a bit of a barriers and things like that. And then once you've come down here through all that kind of security checks, it's going to bring you out into this open area here. Again, this is still going to all be undercover. And then along the sides here is going to be my storage system. And then once you've come through all this and you come right along here, this might be flattened out. I don't know. There's a lot of terraforming that I'm going to need to do to try and make this look in any way, shape or form like an actual festival. And then once you come through up to here, the main stage is going to be in front of you against that backdrop there. There will be other stages as well, like smaller stages over that side, perhaps over this side as well. Lots of other things as well. There's going to be more food vendors, drinks, bars, that kind of stuff, as well as merch tables for the different bands. There's going to be games and just lots of other entertainment. So it's going to be really fun to pack this place out with as much stuff as I possibly can. But unfortunately, all this is going to be for a future episode. I still need to come up with a design as to how I'm going to do all this. I mean, I've got in my inventory at the moment a bunch of iron bars. I was going to kind of mark out exactly how big I want this thing to be, but again, I'm just going to wait for another episode to do that. Now, one of the other things that I've been meaning to do for a long while now, and I just keep forgetting, is to upgrade myself to Netherite. As you can see, I'm still in diamond armor. And to be honest, I think most of this is pretty much full. Like, I don't really need to add any extras. Maybe thorns to this one, but I really don't think I need it. So it's definitely time to upgrade to Netherite because everyone else on the server is pretty much there with it. And I'm kind of getting laughed at. Actually, Mulshi made a comment the other day about me still being in diamond. And I thought, you know what? I need to get this upgraded. So let's do that now. Now, first of all, I'm pretty sure I need a fletching, no, not fletching table. Oh, which one is it now? No, it's not that, is it? There we go, a smithing table. I know I was going to get it eventually. Let's put you on the end here. Then I'm going to need my wallet. And yeah, I've got quite a lot of stuff in here. I'm going to need the Netherite upgrade template. Now, I think the ones that I've left in here might be the originals, so I don't really want those, but I do want those Netherite ingots. Smithing templates are in this blue one. There we go, Netherite upgrade. So I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4... I'm going to need all 8 of those. I've got quite a lot of stuff, unfortunately, and I might need to make some more duplicates. Let's do some duplicates of those. I really don't want to run out. Now, these are another one that's a little bit on the expensive side, so let's have a look on here. So it was... Oh, I can make quite a few of these, but again, that's really expensive. Let's just do... Yeah, let's just do that amount. So I've got 11 total. I think that should be fine. Plus, like I say, I've got the originals back in there. If I need to make more, I can do those. So one of the difficult things here is that I need to actually separate my wings first. Because one of the data packs that we have on at the moment is that you can have the armored elytra, and it's so useful. But it does mean I need to separate these two for the time being, which means I need a grindstone, and I can't remember for the life of me how to make a grindstone. Okay, so the idea is that you throw that on top of there, and it separates them back out into 2 items. Now for the upgrade part, this is where it gets a little bit finicky. I'll just get the rest of this stuff off as well. So let's do helmet first, template, netherite. Oh, look at that. Oh, do I get an advancement for this? I can never remember. Chest plate next, pants, and boots. There we go, cover me in debris. Yes, that's the one. Guess what you get for doing them in order. And then sword. I'm only going to do that one because Silk Touch is the main one that I use. And then for fortune, I'll leave that so I can differentiate between the two. Let's do the axe, the spoon. Now, I'm pretty sure somewhere I have my hoe. I'm guessing that's the one. I've got a couple of them knocking about somewhere. I don't know what I've done with half of them. Oh, that was the other one. Yeah, no, so I've got the right one. So let's do this one again. I should get another advancement for this one. I think, is it dedication? Serious dedication. Oh no, I think I've already got serious dedication because I may have picked up Jen's at one point when she died or something. So I may have already got serious dedication. Oh, that's a shame. And after I've done all of that, I've still got 10 netherite ingots. That's absolutely insane. Oh yeah, looking like an absolute tank. But of course, I need to put my elytra and the chest plate back together again, which means I need to throw them onto the anvil. So that goes there, that goes there. They go together. Bam. Looking all snazzy. There you go, Mulchy. Now you can't have a go at me. Now, interestingly, when it comes to the armor trims, my main one that I use is silence. And obviously, if you watched one of my previous episodes when we went to the deep dark, you'll notice that I had a mini panic attack when I actually found silence, because it's one of the rarest ones to find, but it's one of the ones that I love the most. But it only goes on my pants and boots. The other one that goes on my helmet is tied, and it's tied that I don't actually have. So I think we need to go and find it. Okay, so luckily for me, there is an ocean monument right next to my base. So a short fly away, and unlucky for me, I only have one 8-minute water breathing potion. So I better get to this pretty quickly. Now I'm hoping that no one has raided this one so far. I don't think they have, because if you can see there's a rather large fin poking out the top of the ocean monument. That says to me that the Elder Guardians are in there. Also a shipwreck over there. I'll go check that out later. So with a bit of luck, we will get the tied armor trim, but we'll see how this goes. Can I get through there before? Yeah, there we go. Minor fatigue's going to sit in soon. And are we are... Oh yes, we're in luck. Look at that. First time. You can bugger off. Very happy with that. We don't really need to do the rest of it now. I know it's a bit anticlimactic, but I might take on the rest of it at a later date. I just wanted that tied armor trim, so got very lucky there. Looks like I didn't need the water breathing potion after all. Okay, so I think the first thing we're going to do is get this thing duplicated. I do have prismarine there, so that's what I need to duplicate it. Do I have any more? I do. Yeah, I think 4 will do for now. I only need 1 to actually do the armor trim. And let's get silence out as well. And then we'll do the hat first. We'll put diamonds in because we want this really lovely teal kind of colour. I think it matches and contrasts really nice with the darker purple. Crafting a new look. Pants, we'll change this over to silence. And then finally the boots, silence as well. And there we go. What do you think? Pretty snazzy, eh? It does feel so much better being back in my armour trims. This is something that I've kind of really gotten used to now. It feels kind of weird not having it, so yes, definitely happy with that. But now we really need to jump into making this iron farm, so let's go. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to show you guys putting in the villagers because they're coming from way over there. And even though that doesn't really look like too big of a distance, unfortunately, that's down to the Bobby mod. That is actually quite a distance, and the track goes all along the cobblestone there, onto the green wall, right around here, and then I kind of brought the track over onto here. But it's safe to say that this farm really does work. It's actually producing some fantastic results. See all the iron golems go through there. So yeah, I am absolutely thrilled as to how this farm turned out. I have had a couple of little issues when it comes to these villagers kind of seeing the zombie, but then also there's a point at night where they need to not see him and be able to sleep. Even if it's just for a split second, they need to get in the bed for this farm to essentially work, for them to realize then that they're going to start panicking and then to summon the iron golems. Now I've got around that partly down to having that full block that you can see just to my left, your right, and there's a villager there at the moment that's kind of not panicking, but then eventually he will move and he'll start panicking, and like I say, they will then start spawning in the golems. But like I say, overall I am super happy with how this turned out. But unfortunately, that's just about going to do it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like what you've seen so far and want to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.